This is Teamfight Tactics here. We're going to break down some of the choices we made in this game and help you get to the end game. Sometimes our choices are good, sometimes they're not. What I've done is sped up the gameplay for you here so we can race through the slow early build and we'll get to the good stuff. There's a number of goals at the start you want to focus on. You don't want to lose too much health too fast. You can see I don't have much of a build so far. The second goal is to begin to find your path, figure out what's being offered, and buy it. I often find it's best not to try and force a build because you'll end up clicking through and spending money you don't need to when a perfectly good build is being offered to you. And just remember, because you commit to a build early doesn't mean you need to stick with that build. So your next goal early on is to get 2-star champs really quick. So here you can see I've got my Renekton, my Nico. Nico's in the back, she's doing the damage. Renekton's up front, taking the hits. Ornn's up front, not the greatest choice. So I got 3 guys up front. So Cactus is here. He's going with the Woodland Druid, a typical opening. It's probably going to work well for him. He's got lots of heal. Yep, no problem there. And he took me down. Haven't really got going where I want to yet, but that's okay, it'll come. Okay, so you see I've got my 2-star Cloud Blade Master, Yasuo. So he's got some potential for late game. So I'm actually going to, I don't mind putting some weapons on him. He'll leap into the champ with the most weapons and take them out, which is great because those are the guys you want to take out. So I don't mind building my team around him. You can see I got a Sivir, only level 2. I should tuck that Sivir back in the back. She's a little vulnerable up front. Don't want to get her pegged off too early, but didn't get to it quick enough there. That was a misplay. You need to know your champs, so when you see them down in the tableau, you can get them quick and move on. Just hit my 30 gold. That's awesome. Probably don't want to buy anything here, even though it would fill up my slots. I've got a better position now. Take out the rocks easily. Perfect. Some good weapon choices there. Awesome. Critical strike. That could be very useful. I love the Hand of Justice. It's a little bit random which way it goes, but for now I think the critical strike on Yasuo, I want to take those guys out. The other good advantage of Yasuo is he leaps around, so he's sometimes hard to target because he'll leap out of attack range. So if you've got your 2 stars, I got my 2-star Renekton. I'm throwing in some Rangers at the back because I want to give some extra damage, along with my Blade Master there. Something I love to do as we approach the carousel is fill up my tableau and cheat out an extra player, because when you pick up that player, they're going to go straight out. So take a look at your buffs at this point and see which synergies you have. And sometimes if you're picking for gold or picking for an extra synergy, you can snag somebody and steal. Oh, there's another Sivir. That's great. I really want to get her paired up with Yasuo. So they're the damage dealers and the finishers. So I didn't get an extra synergy out of that, but I did get a 2-star Sivir. So that is awesome. I've got the static shiv on her, which is great. When she triggers her spell, she does all kinds of splash damage with her weapon bouncing around and the static shiv. I got beaten by Cax again. Are you kidding me? Okay. So this is the problem I'm facing, is that I've dropped down. I'm middle of the pack. I've got a very average build. I've told you before, I love me a good Ezreal. I love how he finishes off those low-level champs. So you've got Ezreal combined with Yasuo, and they're going to pick those guys off pretty quick. Kill these things off, no problem. So one question you have when you're playing this game is whether you should try and push and get to the level 3s and roll down and steal those guys, or if you should just get you guys to level 2, get more dudes on the board, And that question isn't easily answered. I think it's a game-by-game decision. Sometimes you'll just get champ after champ and you'll happen to have collected them. And that's awesome. Take it if it comes. I'd say don't try to force it too much because you could win these games with great synergies and a late game pivot just as frequently as someone who has 2 or 3 3-star champs out there. So I've got my Yasuo getting extra health every turn, and my Renekton, he's essentially just up there taking the hits. Wow, I've really fallen down to 37. Only one guy out. So right now at this point in the game, it's not looking good. Cax is on fire, which is humiliating for me. We've got, what's his name? Extend. He's on fire. He's still up at 73, but I'm not concerned. I'm at 37, and you look at that and say, wow, I've got a really terrible build. Extend is really doing well, but this is how the pivot's going to work. So you can see on my bench, I've got my Leona. I've got 2-star. I got a 2-star Karma. I got a Janna ready to go, and I've got a Soraka. So I've just been quietly gathering those. I was hoping I could get up to my 3-star Renekton. The problem is he doesn't fit with my build, really, so I'm not horribly upset if I don't get my 3-star and if I lose him. I'd love to get my Yasuo out, though. He is part of the critical late phase. I'm aiming for, so I've got my 3-blade Bastard now, which is solid. Here's Cactus again. What's he doing? Woodland Druid still a little late for that. Mage and Ocean. So wouldn't be surprised if he loses to the chickens there. All right, lucky. He pulled it out. He's at 40 gold. Not particularly impressive, though. He's spreading them out along the back line, which in this game might be a good idea because you're going to predictably get the setup that I've got, so you can counter that with all kinds of late game options, which is exactly what I'm planning on doing. So it looks like someone's Extend, I think, is building assassins. Looks like he's building wardens and possibly some infernos. So that's going to do some damage. But if those assassins can't get behind my back line, if I can keep them out in front, I can peg them off fairly quickly. Here's Extend. That's the guy I've got to beat. So I took him down. Now I'm the one with the streak. So you can see I was at 27. I've only dropped 2 health. And this is where I shut the door. I'm going to basically lock things down here. So I got my Leona out there now. Aatrox is up front doing some damage. Nami is an awesome steal. So here goes the switch. This is it. I didn't quite have time to pull it off there. But you can see I got my Cloud, I got my Lunar, Blade Master 4, Mystic 4. Unbelievable. Yeah, so I'm just going to shred through these guys. Knock them out. There we go. There's another Karma. Get my Janna out there. I got my Master Yi. This is fantastic. This is looking really good. The only thing better would be if I could get a Lux going. So Cactus has the 6 Mage, 3 Inferno. So he's pivoted as well. And that's looking pretty good, but it's a little too late for him, so he's at 4th place. Doesn't even get to fight the dragon. Hope he's listening to this video, and I'm just going to shame him mercilessly here. Alright. That is a lot of fun seeing Nami shoot that wave. As I've said before, I think one of the weapons that's the most OP in the game is the Moral Nomicon. If you can get that on a champ who does hits a lot of people with their spell, it's going to burn them, prevent them from healing, do damage, and with her knock-up, I mean, they're toast. This guy's toast. So the difficult point with the pivot, I mean, go back and rewatch that moment where I made the shift, because often I'll do it when, if I lose a game or two, and I feel the game is changing against me. But if you can hit the pivot just before you start to lose, then you do what I do, and I'm still at 25, wiping everybody out. And I've got another trick up my sleeve here. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Alright, Extend. He's got the Avatar, Mountain, Warden, Assassin. I think think the other one was Inferno, so it's going to be a good fight. He's got some power players up front. That Malphite, he's a tough dude. He's going to hang on for a while. One other major advantage of shifting in this late game, I'm going to slow things down here so you can actually see the battle a little bit more clearly, is that your opponent, so if you're playing this game really well, you're checking out what your opponents are doing, and you're trying to counter that build, and you're checking out where they're placing their guys. Oh, let's just steal the Yorick. We'll get the extra Zephyr in there. Light doesn't really do a whole lot for me at this stage, but he'll pop right in the corner. We'll pop one of his guys up. Hopefully it's his Malphite. And it's great if your opponents don't have time to adjust. So if I make a pivot and they don't check right away what I'm doing, they're expecting a different build, and they might expect a different placement of characters too. So you can knock them out of contention. There's a quick check. Avatar, Warden, Mountain. All right. Yeah, so this guy's grouped right in the back, so Nami's going to do well against that. Let's see how we do here. This is a good fight. This is fun. This is Extend, who was doing quite well early in the game, but he's been riding his own wave and playing the same build through this end game. So you can see how many guys I've got left on the board because I've got that sustain from the Mystic 4. For him to chew through my magic resist is really challenging. The Lunar really gives my guys a buff. I've got some nice magic resist on Yasuo, so not only is he offensive with the critical strike, he's also defensive, so he's going to last in there. We're coming up to the last fight here, so let's get that Zephyr on. Boy, I'd love to see that desert out there. I just can't quite get the Kazakhs out there. I don't think I'm going to need it though, so... Here we go. Wow, he's going double Rabadon's cap. The Hex Tech. That's actually effective on Kiana. She is doing well up there. But it's okay. I just keep hanging in there. Chisel at that Malphite. Bam. Done. Good game, dude. This is Teamfight Tactics. Like it, subscribe to the channel, we'll keep sending you strategies.